you just have to win. You have to get that done. It's not so many games like that cause a little bit of a... Manchester City were like that, didn't they? Manchester City lost to Norwich, I think it was not last year, season before that, and all of a sudden people go, oh, OK, maybe that's one that you just need to tick off and get past. But it's also an opportunity for you to get goals on the board, really.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at all your games at the beginning of the season, the games like Norwich, essentially Burnley, even last season when we were playing Fulham, those are the games that you say in UK that essentially, it's not to say they're easy games, we kind of mentioned earlier, but you're expecting 3 points from them. Anything less and you come away disappointed. If Chelsea come away with a draw, even if it's a tough game, you go away annoyed. It's the expectation to get 3 points. Brentford, right? Brentford they played a fantastic game, but going into that game beforehand, Chelsea's expectation was to take away 3 points. Obviously, the bigger games when you're against Manchester City, the teams that are a lot more expensive and arguably have better players, they're the ones where you can kind of account for. I'd take a draw here maybe if we're still trying to battle for the Premier League title like we are. But the games against Norwich, yeah, that has to be 3 points.
I think what you kind of underestimate is the likes of Brentford, who have had the momentum. They went up through the playoff and they started day one of the Premier League on a high and with momentum, beating Arsenal. And Arsenal, you can argue and say how poor Arsenal were, but it was because Brentford was so good. The intensity. So they had that momentum.
Yes.
Norwich has had no momentum whatsoever. It's not to say they're not going to win a Premier League game, which I think they will, because the law of averages would suggest they should win a game, you would think. However, they've got no momentum. They've got lacking in confidence. So it really is down to how Chelsea approach the game. Like I said, if they approach it like tonight, they will win the game comfortably. And it'll be another one of those ticking the box and saying, job done, well done, pat on the shoulders, and off we go to the next one.
I suppose there is that, isn't there? Like you just said there, it's about taking each game. It's such a cliche, but it is about taking each game as it comes, because you, as fans, you look at it on paper, you go, we've got Norwich, Malmö, Norwich, Southampton in the Cup, Newcastle, I think we've got Burnley as well in a couple of weeks. You look at those, all of a sudden you think we should be ticking 7, 8 runs, get games in a row, but you have to take each game as it comes.
Yeah, you do. And the thing is, that one of the most overriding factors for me when I arrived at the club, or the feeling was, you've got to win every game. And that's the expectation. You win every game, you need to win every trophy that you're involved in. And that's just the mentality. So that filters through. And it's about every game you look at, whether they're playing Man United, Liverpool or Man City, it doesn't matter. The mentality is, we are Chelsea and we're going to win this game. And so it's a given regarding the other teams, the rest of it. And it's not trying to be arrogant or disrespectful. It's the quality of players that you have at this club. It's the mentality, it's the desire, the ambition. And it's also, they've backed it up time and time again. So these next run of games are games that, yes, they look at as 3 points. However, they're only 3 points and onwards if you put the right effort in, the right mentality, and approach the games in the right manner. Like tonight was perfect in that regard. And it'll be the same on the weekend against Norwich.
Looking forward to it. Mark, thank you so much for joining us, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Zach, always brilliant, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us as well. Chelsea, 4-0 winners here at Stamford Bridge against Malmö in the Champions League. We go again on Saturday. Thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening.